So I've just introduced myself, so I won't do that again. I am going to try to share some slides, so just bear with me. I'll try and get those up so you can all see them. Just thinking about it. Jana, if you let me know when you can see them.
I can see them. Thank you.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, I'm here today to tell you a little bit about AHP professional bodies. Just firstly, just so we're all on the same page, and this may be telling you all to suck eggs, so apologies if it is, but I just wanted to make sure we're all kind of clear on what a professional body is, just to give all this a bit of context. So professional bodies support and promote their own profession. So in our case, it would be physiotherapy, and really what we're about is ensuring high standards of patient care, high standards of practice, and advocating for the interests of our professionals, so our physios, again, in my case, and of course patients, because obviously that's at the heart of everything that we do. Many of the professional bodies also have other functions. So we as a CSP are a trade union, we're also an educational body. So what that means is we not only set kind of professional standards and advocate for the profession, but we also support our members in the workplace. So with any workplace issues, with any professional issues, and we also accredit pre-registration physiotherapy courses, and advocate for education and development throughout the profession, and at all levels as well. So that includes support workers as well. So you will find me slipping into talking about physio in the CSP, but this is for all professional bodies, and you can almost replace physio with OT or speech and language therapy and what I'm talking about, but I'm going to try and keep it quite broad, but then there will be some physio specific content at the end as well. So just a quick show of hands, how many of you think that support workers can join a professional body? If you're able to use your virtual hand just to give me a sense of where people are at with it. Okay, so we've got 4 of you. Yeah, so less than half of you. So yeah, support workers can join professional bodies. So I think that's a really important thing to say right from the get-go, is that as support workers, you're a really important part of the AHP professions, and a really important part of our kind of membership group as well. How many of you are already a member of a professional body, regardless of which one it is? Liz, brilliant. Okay, so we've got 5 of you. Is anyone a CSP member? Just Paula. Excellent. Well, we've got 1. So Paula, you might know a lot of what we're going to talk about today, but if you don't, again, I hope you learn something and maybe find some new things that you can get out of your CSP membership. So as I said, I am delivering this on behalf of all of the AHP professional bodies, and I actually work closely with many of them because we have an AHP support worker professional body group, and the purpose of that group is to really have that kind of collective and cohesive voice that advocates and supports our support workforce. And we're really keen that we kind of use that voice to inform and influence kind of across the UK. And what I mean by that is making sure that we inform people of the value of the support workforce, that we, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Yeah, and that we really make it clear that being a support worker is a career in its own right, and that we should make sure there are those career pathways and opportunities for the support workforce that are equitable to what registered professionals get as well. So a little bit more about the AHP support worker group. We wanted to collaborate, and we wanted to also help each other and kind of gain strength in numbers, really. So we plan and implement focus activities that really promote our work. We act as key contact points as well for other national bodies such as NHS England or Skills for Care. If they're doing any work around the support workforce, we generally as a group have representatives getting involved in that to make sure the interests of AHP support workers are represented there. And we also share best practice as well. So we all share what we're doing as professional bodies. We share kind of case studies of good practice from our members as well. And we really learn from each other as well. So how do we do it? So we meet quarterly. The group was originally set up by the CSP, I think back in 2018, 2019, by my predecessor. It's now chaired by the Society of Radiographers. And yeah, as I said, we work really close together, and some of that can involve lobbying national policymakers as well to make sure if they are writing any new policies, such as the intermediate care framework, then we're making sure the value of the support workers is really reflected in that as well. So it's really important. If we're going to see change in practice for you guys, it needs to be kind of talked about at that strategic level as well. So what are our actual outputs? What do we actually produce? Well, there's a few things that are good to raise your awareness of. So back in 2021, we launched our first consensus statement. So that was really, I think, off the back of COVID, I think, which really accelerated everything and really highlighted the work of support workers during that crisis time, and how they really were the backbone of many of our AHP professions. So the consensus statement really described our commitment and our want from policymakers as a collective. So really, again, having that strength in numbers, but also from our individual memberships as well. And again, that was focused around career pathways, around recognising the value of support workers, and really empowering them to thrive in their roles and giving them that opportunity and thinking innovatively about support worker roles. We consult on a lot of national documents and policies, as I've said already. We contribute to working parties. We co-author various articles, etc. And again, it's about really endorsing the support workforce. And I think most importantly, we make sure we have a joint approach. So last year, NHS England commissioned a lot of work from each of the professional bodies. So we make sure that we're just joined up on that a little bit in terms of, you know, simple things like the terminology and the language that we were using, what kind of resources we were producing, so that everything was aligned and we weren't all going off in different directions, therefore losing the value of the work that we were doing. So that works really well. In 2023, we launched Support Worker Awareness Week, which we're trying to grow year on year. So this is a AHP professional body initiative where we have a specific week a year, which is really dedicated to comms around the support workforce. That's normally in November. And we have a minimum of one awareness raising activity per organisation during that week. So that's a lot of activity across all of the AHP professional bodies. And that can be anything from social media campaigns to articles, to videos. There's a real range of things that have been done by the professional bodies in that week. It's going to happen again this year, so do look out for it. And if you want to get involved in it as well, do let me know, because we really like to hear from support workers to get your views across as well during that week. So in terms of what's next over the rest of this year and into 2026, we're reviewing our terms of reference and really reflecting on our approach, because obviously the healthcare landscape is changing, the needs of the support workforce are changing, and it's really important to us that we maintain that momentum in light of all the challenges that we're seeing in healthcare at the moment and all of the changes that we're seeing. We're also really keen to engage more with support workers themselves. So we're looking at whether we can get more support workers involved in the group, either as a regular stakeholder or, coming to a visit to either observe the group or to contribute to some of the work that they're doing. So again, potentially opportunities for you guys to get involved as well. And we're having a bit more of a focus on promoting a UK-wide approach as well. So most of us in the group are from England, so it does inevitably take a bit of an England focus, but it's really important to remember that professional bodies are UK-wide. So again, we're trying to identify our counterparts in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales as well. So you're probably thinking that's all very well, but what do you actually offer me for my membership, or why would I want to join a professional body? So this table, I know it's quite busy. This gives you a bit of a picture of what each of the AHP professional bodies offer for support workers. So this isn't obviously all of the professional bodies, but these are the ones that I work closely with, and I think probably cover all of the professions that we've got in the room today. So just in case people don't know the abbreviations, from left to right, we've got Chartered Society of Physio, we've got Royal College of Speech and Language Therapy, we've got Society of Radiographers, College of Paramedics, British Dietetic Association, Royal College of Occupational Therapy, and the British and Irish Orthoptic Society. So what I've done in this table is just picked out some of the sort of core offers, I suppose, of each of these professional bodies in terms of what you might find useful as a support worker. But what we offer goes far beyond this table. But you can see it's really broad ranging from a profession specific career framework to professional guidance around delegation, to funding streams, CPD activities and resources, trade union support, networks. The list is endless. There's really is a lot for you guys in the professional bodies. You'll notice that some professional bodies don't offer as much as others. But I would say that we're all different size organisations because of the size of our professions. Some professional bodies are a bit earlier in their support worker strategy than others. So College of Paramedics in the middle there, you'll see has only got 3 ticks. That's not because they don't do anything for their support workforce or they don't value their support workers. It's because they're early in that strategy and they've got lots of plans to expand that offer as well. So if there's a professional body on that list you're interested in, but maybe they don't quite offer what you want, do keep an eye on it because things are developing and changing all the time, particularly as support worker membership base kind of grows within the bodies as well. So I heard some of you say in the introductions that you're kind of rehab support workers and that you work across a few different professions. So it might feel a bit confusing as to kind of where you sit within this. So what I would say if you did want to join a professional body is have a think about which one best aligns with your role. Perhaps you do more physiotherapy interventions than you do OT or vice versa, or there might be a particular profession you're more interested in than another. So I'd say have a look at what best aligns with your role, what best aligns with your values, and what the offer is from a particular professional body, and whether you think it kind of meets your needs in terms of what you want from your membership. And I would say that for the CSP, and I know the same is true for the other bodies as well, that as long as part of your role is in pursuit of physiotherapy, you can join us regardless of whether you do a bit of OT and a bit of speech and language as well. So I just wanted to give you a little sort of snapshot of some of the professional bodies. So most of us have all of our support worker content kind of housed in a specific hub for support workers, so that we keep all that content together, that it's easy to navigate, and that it's really specific to you. But I would say with the CSP, there is lots of other content that is relevant as well. So certainly our support worker hub, whilst it'll have everything that's specific to you, it will also signpost to other parts of the website so that you can see what else is relevant for the profession, because obviously you are a key part of the profession as well. So this is just a snapshot from the Society of Radiographers hub. And you will see there on those blue bullet points, they list their support worker roles. And I think that's really telling, isn't it, that there's so many different titles for support workers. And again, all of you in the room today, when you introduce yourselves, a lot of you had different titles. But what's also great here is that they've listed managers as a group that this support worker hub is relevant for, because we really recognise that our support worker content is really useful for registered staff as well, for those working with support workers, for those line managing support workers, so that registered staff can make sure that they're supporting you well, that they're empowering you, and that they know about your role and the best way that you guys can work together as well. This is the Royal College of Speech and Language Therapy. This is their support worker hub. So again, each one looks different with each professional body, which is why I said, have a browse and see which one you like and which one best aligns with you and the ways in which you work. What I like about RCSLT is they have podcasts as well. So if you're someone that learns by listening, they do have podcasts specific for support workers as well as support worker careers. So you can see we all have whilst we have a similar offer, we do it very differently. So in terms of the CSP, myself and my colleague Marie-Therese, who's in the picture there, we lead on the support workforce within the organisation. So what that means is MT and I advocate for support workers both internally within the CSP and externally to make sure that support workers are supported and represented in the workplace, and that you have all the support and the resources that you need. Because as I said, if you take anything away from today, it's just that knowledge that you are valued and that being a support worker is a career in its own right. And we really want to make sure you've got what you need to develop and ultimately to really enjoy your role and offer the best patient care that you possibly can. And at the CSP, we want to make sure that it's that golden thread through everything that we do for the physio profession, that support workers are included in that, both in local conversations and in national or even government conversations as well. So similar to the other bodies, our resources are housed within our support worker hub. At the CSP, we call support workers associates, and it's the associate membership category. So if you start to see that word, that's why. Some of our content is member only, but quite a lot of it is open access because, again, we recognise that you might be line managed by someone who isn't a physio, you might be in a blended role, and you might be a member of another professional body, but you might still value access to the physio specific resources that we do have. So as I said, our membership category is called Associate Membership Category, and it makes up about 5% of our membership, I think, and it is growing. So it's really important to us that we have a decent offer for support workers. I'm going to try and play this video now. This is a great video of Chris, who's one of our associate members, and it's him talking about what he uses of the CSP resources and why it's important to him to be a member. So I'm going to press play and hope that it works. If you can't hear it, let me know. It's thinking, which I take as a good sign.
We can hear it. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so I hope you found that useful, and I think one thing that's actually great to highlight there from Chris is actually how he's really embraced leadership as a support worker. So again, you've probably heard us talk a lot about the 4 pillars of practice. And I genuinely think support workers make great leaders. And that can be within your team, it could be within your organisation, or it could be through something externally to work, like a professional body or a network. So have a think about that in terms of what you could do to do more in that leadership pillar. And I think a support worker network is actually a great way of doing that. So at the CSP, we've got an associates network. And from the other slide with all the ticks on it, you would have seen that other professional bodies also have networks for their support workers as well. No, those networks normally come with your membership of a professional body. So you're generally automatically a member of that network. And you can get really involved in that. So they generally have a core committee with different roles within the committee. Or you can contribute to specific things that they do, maybe like events or a conference. So there's loads and loads of opportunities within a support worker network. So I would encourage you to check that out in whatever professional body you might want to have a look at. Our associates network work really closely with myself and MT. So again, we use our associates network as, I suppose, a bit of a critical friend in terms of sense checking some of our work, asking them whether what we're planning to do is useful, and they can also influence the CSP strategy as well. So really feeding in the voice of the support worker and what our associate members need from us as an organisation as well. So they're a key network, they're brilliant, and they provide some really great opportunities and also some funding. So just before we finish, I wanted to tell you about some current work that we're doing at the CSP, because again, I think it will be useful regardless of what profession you are working with. We have just launched some support worker workbooks. So there's a bit of history behind these, because these were originally published by NHS Education Scotland, and we knew that they were really widely used by our members because they were housed online with NHS Scotland. But then Scotland stood them down, and there's 19 of them, so it's too valuable a resource for support workers just to lose. We were getting loads of questions about where they're gone, how support workers can still access them. So we got permission to acquire these workbooks from NHS Scotland. We've worked with our professional networks to update the clinical content in them, and we've redesigned them and we have adopted them, and we are now housing them on our website. So we've only launched 3 initially, and they are around the principles of rehab. They're about the cardiovascular system, and they're about the respiratory system. So they're kind of clinical workbooks. So support workers can really learn some kind of theory behind what they do and some theory behind the practical skills that you have to be able to treat your patients. So yeah, we're going to evaluate how they land, and if they are widely used, if they're successful, we'll then go on and update the rest of the series. As I said, there's 19, so there's a lot of them. These are a member-only benefit, so you can only download them if you are a member. But hopefully some of you will become a member or have access to this through any friends that might be members, because they are really good. The other thing that we've been working on in the past few months is a video about delegating to physiotherapy support workers. Now, again, it's about physiotherapy, but the support workers that featured in this video are rehab support workers. So they cover OT, speech and language, and dietetics as well, I believe. So what we were hearing from our members was that delegation was often inconsistent, that physios, particularly early in their career, lacked confidence in delegating to support workers because they didn't understand the process, they didn't understand the role of a support worker, which meant they were hanging on to all those tasks that support workers will be more than capable to carry out. So we have produced 5 videos around each of the 5 principles of delegation to really show how that can be implemented in practice and what that can look like and what the governance around it looks like as well. But that's also linked to a longer video which showcases how in this particular service, which is a community rehab service in Glasgow, how that particular service kind of uses their support workers, what the roles look like, and how the support workers have been really key to transforming the service and how they've helped to improve patient care and waiting times as well. So they'll be launched later on in the summer. But again, a great resource for all the different professions. And then finally, at the CSP, we have an annual conference, as do a lot of the other professional bodies. Ours is in November. It's in Newport in South Wales this year. We try and vary the location every year to make it accessible. And there is some content for our support workers there. So there is a networking session, which is being run by the Associates Network. So a great chance to meet them and a great chance to meet others who are interested in the support workforce. And there's also a symposium session as well, which is where we've got 4 different speakers talking about delegation and leadership and how that's really key in physiotherapy service transformation. And we have got a support worker speaking at that as well. And over the coming years, we're really planning to grow our offer for support workers at conference. So if you are doing any innovative work or research or audits within your roles at the moment, we really want to hear from you for sort of next year's conference. So if you've sort of got anything on your radar, do drop me a line, because we really want to increase that support worker voice at conference and that content for and about support workers at conference as well. So last slide. Just to say at the CSP, we have regional networks as well. So in Oxfordshire, you would fall in the South Central region. I'm the professional advisor for that region. And you can get involved in the network as a support worker. Again, they've got a really friendly and proactive committee who would love to have a support worker on board. But the network also does a lot of activity in the region and also puts on events as well, which are free to attend. So again, you can check out details on our website of the network as well. And that is it from me. Hopefully I haven't taken up too much time, but thank you for having me. If you want to get in touch, please do. I know Joanna's shared my email address in the chat, but I'd really love to hear from you. If you've got a question or if you've got some work that you want to tell me about, it would be really good to link in with you. So thanks again. I'm really happy to take questions or be involved in a discussion, whatever you need to use me for the next 25 minutes or so. And I will stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Rachel, for this deep, fabulous presentation.
No problem.
I would like to know, there was a part where the system froze. So just before
okay.
I stopped recording, you mentioned about funding, and then after we didn't hear what you said. Can you just do this line again, please?
I think I mentioned that a couple of times. So our support worker network, so our associates network, is offering funding this year for, not sure how many, but some support workers to attend our conference. So if anyone is interested, I can find out details of how that works and how that gets allocated. But again, we really want to offer that opportunity to come to conference. So yeah, let me know. And the other thing I might have mentioned as well was, just going back to one of my slides on the other screen. So lots of the professional bodies do have kind of grants and funding streams and kind of charitable trusts for various different things for members. So again, it's generally something that would help you develop in your role. So whether that was kind of talking about some work at a conference, or you needed a bit of extra financial support, lots of the professional bodies have specific pots of money for members for those things. And obviously there's an application process for that as well.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I'm just going to stop the recording like that. Everybody who's got question can.